And happy Monday to you.
Howdy, folks.
Seth Williams Show, Chris Aiken. It's a Monday. We are hanging out. We are ready to go today, I think.
I think
Aren't
so.
we? You ready to go?
well,
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go. I feel much better, finally.
Good.
Jeez, man, that took a long time. I literally didn't get out of bed until like Saturday.
Did you have the vid?
No vid. I was, of course, it was nice of them to call me today from a doctor's appointment Thursday to say, oh, by the way, you do not have COVID.
There you go.
But, I was like, gee, thanks for the follow-up, but no, I just had, and I don't know if you've heard this term before. This was new to me. I had what they're calling deep flu.
Deep flu.
Deep flu.
Not regular flu, the deep flu.
I had the deep flu, which, as I understand it, which, anybody that might be a doctor or something listening can explain more because I didn't really ask any questions. I didn't care. They say that that's somewhere between the flu and like pneumonia. Is the deep flu.
The deep flu.
The deep flu.
Not quite really bad, but not good enough to be just the flu. Okay.
Yeah. It was bad enough that they had to stick a needle in my ass, but not bad enough to where I had to be hospitalized.
You had a needle stuck in your ass?
Yeah, they they gave me the antibiotic shot, whatever that was. Hopefully not the jab.
I was taking antibiotics for something else, but we won't get into that on this show. My daughter watches the show, so
the drip.
No, it's just a toothache.
It's like your daughter's on vacation, and she ain't watching the show.
Yes. Well, I mean, she could be watching. She's in a hotel right now, so she could listen to.
She's not watching right now. You think?
Well, she might. She bought me this shirt. It's like a Hulk Hogan shirt.
Nice.
Because she knows I like Hulk Hogan, so she got me this shirt for Father's Day, and so I told her I'd wear it on the show today.
Oh, that's nice.
So.
Well, in that case, it was just for a toothache.
Yes, it was just for the toothache.
Drip meant a drip from your tooth into your mouth.
The tooth, yes. Did you have a nice Father's Day?
Working Father's Day, kind of. I'm so behind from laying in bed for a week that yesterday was a work day. I mean, I heard from my kids, which is nice, but dude, I think I've told you this before. I am not holiday guy.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't care. My daughter, she was like halfway leaning toward, I'm going to come over and bring you some dinner, make you some dinner or something. And then she was like, but if you still have anything lingering, I don't want to get sick because I don't want to miss work. And I was like, yeah, just stay home. It's fine. And then I heard from my son in Pittsburgh. He just, he dropped me a quick line to say Happy Father's Day. And I heard from my other son who lives here. He, of course, Happy Father's Day'd me and, got the normal round of texts and phone calls and stuff from my mom and from people. But yeah, other than that, dude, I mean, I really didn't do anything other than bust out work because I needed to get caught up some.
See, like I'd say this is probably the maybe 10th year in a row.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter generally goes on vacation to visit my dad in South Carolina and stuff like that. And so for like the 10th year in a row, she missed Father's Day, and at least this year she'll be back for my birthday.
Well, that's good.
July 1st, I think it's my first day back from vacation. It's a Monday, so I will be birthdaying it up here on the show.
Okay.
But so at least she'll be back for that. But it does suck like every year she's gone for Father's Day. But at least she's with my dad, so I mean, at least it's something kind of cool.
Well, I don't know how you feel about this, but dude, to me, every day that my kids are above ground and not hating me is Father's Day.
Amen to that.
I do not need a special day. As long as I can call my kids and they'll answer the phone and not be like, "What do you want, asshole?" That's Father's Day to me. They're all Father's Day.
And this kind of leads into what I want to talk about coming up here.
Yeah.
Before we have our band member come on.
Okay.
Smile Empty Soul, correct? Coming on
yes,
today?
Sean Danielsen from Smile Empty Soul.
If you know the song "Bottom of a Bottle" from back in the day, it was a fantastic tune. So they were a good band, man. I like them. I like the new song I heard today. So that's looking forward to talking to him. just a little bit. Plus, I think that he leans a little bit more my direction.
Oh, I think he's definitely going up the hill to the right versus to the left.
Speaking of the left and social media is what I kind of
Okay.
want to talk about the first half hour. And,
Yeah.
certain days that need to be recognized and certain things that don't need to be recognized.
Sure.
And so I apologize if I offend anybody listening, but I don't give a fuck anymore. I've decided that I have a mental illness when it comes to social media. I wanted to step up my game a little bit
Okay.
because I thought, all right, this is the wave of the future. I need to step up the game a little bit, and I need to be more active on social media, which means posting more, or on Twitter or whatever it is, and maybe get a little political, a little bit controversial when it comes to posts.
Okay.
Because it's kind of what I do for a living with radio and stuff like that, and so it's I need to step
Sure.
up the game a little bit.
Well, sure.
I've decided now that it's a mental illness, and I need to burn all computers in my house except for this one that I can do the show on, and throw the phone out the window, light it on fire, and stomp on it. Because social media is the devil, and people on there are the most terrible people on the face of the earth. Now, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
The left, and we know plenty of people on the left. Some used to be here on the show, and we know some people that are left-leaning people. Mm-hmm. They demand tolerance. You have to tolerate everything that they do. You have to tolerate Black Lives Matter. You have to tolerate Pride Month. You have to tolerate Asian Pacific Islander Month, Black History Month, Native American Month. All these different things you have to tolerate because you have to be that way. You can't be an American first guy. You have to be tolerant of everybody.
Right.
Yet these bastards are the first people to not be tolerant to anybody with a differing opinion. They hate Donald Trump with no tolerance at all. They hate anybody that has an opinion that is not pro what they believe. The tolerance stops at what they want. And it's disgusting at this point. And I don't know what else to do but to say I can't be on social media anymore because it literally makes me sick.
Well, dude, first of all, you do have a mental illness with social media. I don't think it's the posting part of it. I think it's it's more I think me and you talked about this on the phone. I think it's more of you take it so personal.
All right.
You literally, if somebody says Joe Biden is doing a great job, you take that as a personal insult to you. No. Not just a stupid statement.
I take that as a personal attack on the country that I love.
As well as a personal statement.
I consider myself a patriot to this country. I was never able to fight in any kind of war. I was never in any armed services or anything like that. And God bless those guys that are. But I'm a patriot to this country, and I'm seeing it in a downward spiral, decline like never before. And I don't like the way that it's headed.
Right. I don't blame you.
I don't. Right. That's not social media. You're right. I do have to keep one device strictly for porn.
That's right.
Like a burner phone for porn.
Or just a Twitter account.
Whatever.
No, dude, I don't disagree with you. I do slightly. I think because we're in the moment, we think that what we're going through is the worst thing ever, and it's bad. It's pretty damn bad. But I think because we were too young, we don't remember 79. I just had this conversation with my mom over the weekend, and she said to me that she thinks that this is worse, but it's on the same level as 1979 when inflation was crazy and there was no fuel, and if you ran out of gas you had to sit in line for 6 hours and push your car into the gas station and everything else.
I agree.
So,
but I don't think democracy has ever been on the line like it is now. I really don't. I think the downward spiral of the republic itself is at stake with the left, the way that it's pushing things. And what's funny is they like to project that on Donald Trump. They like to actually project it. And people that project stuff are the ones that are actually fucking doing it. And what they do is they project it onto Donald Trump that he's the threat to democracy when it's them. When they're trying to take a guy off the ballot altogether, that's a
Yeah.
threat to democracy. When they're pushing ideals onto children and trying to create a voting block of illegals, that's a threat to democracy. That's
Sure.
not what's going on with Donald Trump. We had 4 years of Donald Trump and democracy survived. What's not surviving is keeping these people in office because they will destroy it altogether with their ideals. When you groom children from toddler age on up through college to have your ideals and your ideology, that is a threat to democracy. When you bring in tens of millions of illegals into this country, then give them voting rights, which you're trying to do, that's a threat to democracy.
Don't disagree.
Donald Trump doesn't do that.
No, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But my only throwback, and again, I'm trying to play devil's advocate a little bit here, so I don't even know that I believe fully what I'm about to say. But I do know it to be a truth. In '79, we also had the same kind of split of attitude in the college campuses and in the mainstream, because there were quite a few people in that era that were pushing for giving the Iranians what they wanted. They wanted to, in exchange for hostages, they wanted to change our life. They were willing to give up our rights in exchange for these 100 people or whatever that were hot. So it's a similar.
Again, you're talking about one aspect. I'm talking about an entire thing.
Well, no, and again, I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to say one's better than the other. I'm just trying to say it's not as this is the only time this has ever happened. Is all I'm trying to say.
I really think that this is the one time the democracy is on the line. When you talk about a president that we have now, if you can call him that, who one freezes down and just stands there, still doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and Obama had to carry him off stage the other night because he's just frozen there again. But you're talking about a guy that calls again Donald Trump a dictator, and yet you're talking about a guy that defied the Supreme Court and gave people tons of money for free colleges and everything. Mm-hmm. He's the dictator. When they
I agree. I do.
The opposite. So, but again, I really truly believe that this is the downfall, and social media is just part of it. I mean, they actually, the Surgeon General actually did something which I agree with, putting a warning label on social media, just like they do for cigarettes and everything else.
Social media, what social media has done, has damaged, in my mind, more than anything else, is it has taken away the ability to have critical thought. People are so afraid to have critical thought, which might offend their personal friends, that all see everything that they speak on every single day on social media. So they limit their personal thought. They limit their thought of, well, maybe there is a point to what Donald Trump is saying. I'll just use an easy example. They'll limit that because they don't want their friends to yap at them and say, oh, how can you support Donald Trump? They say that kind of shit. And it's ironic, dude. I'll share a conversation that I had with a guest that we had recently on the show, and I won't say which one because I don't want to poison their thing. But I had a conversation with one of our guests that we had on recently, and I told you about this, where they went to our website and thought that we were anti-Trump. And they were willing to join the show. They were willing to do the show because they thought from one of the YouTube thumbnail covers, that we were an anti-Trump show. And then when I explained to that person that we're not, then they're like, "Oh man, how can that be?" And I talked to her about it for like 20 minutes or so. And obviously we didn't have a guest cancel.
But I will say this though, because I know who you're talking about. I thought that the interview, I could tell that there was tension. That she
of course,
felt.
At first, sure.
And I don't think that the interview was as good as it maybe could have been if it wasn't for the fact that she knew what was going on.
And that's probably true. But at least she didn't just blanket like most people do. Like, you guys don't agree with what I do, so I'm gonna boycott you.
So now I have two social media stories that are the reason why I'm done with social media. I'm assuming I'm going to get through one before our guest comes on, but I'll try to get through both. If not, we'll talk about it after the guest is on. But first one, our old buddy who used to be on the show posted something on the WNIR like fan page or whatever it is.
Okay.
And it was a shot at Donald Trump, and it happened on D-Day that he posted this. A shot at Donald Trump. And so
Perfect.
I posted something to the effect of, I don't know why they let these people on here and, disrespectful post on, D-Day of all things. I think it's ridiculous, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy attacks the shit out of me. Well, apparently they let everybody on here considering you're here. And so I fired back with something because now I'm just pissed. And, that was a shot against me. Fine. And so I fired back at this guy. I was like, oh, great. You're really good there, buddy. You made me cry. Maybe I'm so upset. You're a hack. Go back to whatever the hell you were doing before you involved yourself in my post. And so I said something shitty back to him like that. And then he goes back at me. So now we're arguing back and forth like two fucking idiots on social media. And I look at his profile, right?
Yeah.
And he's a Navy guy. And he's an anti-Biden guy. And I said to him, I said, I don't know what you're talking about here. I don't know why we are arguing. I was like, we're on the same side here. The guy who posted this is a shithead who said something
right
or anti-Trump on D-Day, and I was standing up for the military. And so now we're going back and forth, and actually it turned out to be great. And he said he was going to start listening to the podcast, whatever. And it ended up being okay. But my point is that you had two guys that actually agreed with each other on everything. And him and I should actually be friends. In fact, when I looked, he's got mutual friends of mine.
Sure.
And we should actually be friends. And this guy looks pretty cool. A big dude, and he's a Navy guy and a vet. So I'm like, this guy's awesome.
Right.
But yet we're arguing like 12-year-olds because social media is a dick and you shouldn't use it.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
what?
Most people these days, and I don't know if you're seeing this or not, but in my world, most of my friends have stopped using it. Like I used to be that if I wanted to see what was going on a Friday, I could usually go on Friday morning, go to my social media, and all my friends would have, hey, we'll see everybody out at the XYZ bar on Euclid and 5th or where, whatever. I could find out what people were doing. And that was why I was involved in it, was because I could find out where everybody was and I could make some decisions on what I wanted to do. I don't see any of that anymore. Now, all I see on social media is pictures after an event and people bitching about every other stupid fucking thing. The WNBA or whatever.
That's me. I'm going to take every motherfucking picture I can take when I go on vacation here in a week. And I like taking pictures of me and my daughter. And I like posting stuff, Happy Father's Day and all that kind of crap. And I use it for that. But when I tried to get political on this stuff, it's just backfire on me like big time. Because you know why? I'm too emotional when it comes to this stuff. So the other day, another one, ice cream place that I absolutely love. I mean, the ice cream is fantastic. It's called Smooth. I've talked about it on the show before. It's out in Barberton, and I think they have another one in Seville. Some of the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. It's custard. It's beautiful. It's smooth. I can talk about this stuff all day long. It's just great. But they had a post on Facebook, and it was talking about their Pride Sunday. And it's got like white cake and rainbow sprinkles and whipped cream, and all this, and it's a Pride Sunday. And I think that whoever owns it, whatever, I don't know their story, so I'm not going to talk about their story. But there's like hundreds of comments and thousands of likes and this stuff, and there's like some hate comments and there's people yelling at the haters and all this kind of stuff. And now all I did was put on there, and I should have just left it alone. I should have just not said a freaking thing.
Yeah.
But I did. I said, I don't understand why we have to celebrate somebody's sexual preference with ice cream. That's all I said.
Yeah, you bastard! How dare you?
I think I ended up at the end of it. I said, I don't care who you sleep with. It doesn't matter to me. But can we just leave it off the ice cream?
Can we just talk about ice cream?
Yeah, and all of a sudden, dude, I'm the biggest fucking homophobe that you've ever heard in your entire life. I'm being attacked all over the place. Now, this one idiot on this post actually had the nerve to look up, I guess, my profile or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they said something to the effect of, you're an amputee. Why do you have to shove that in everybody's face by wearing your prosthetic leg out in public? What? Now, I'd like to think that, okay, a medical disability is different from being gay. And I said, you're standing up for being gay. I was like, do you consider it a medical disability? Because most people don't. I don't think that's a disability. I don't care who you're with. I just said, could we leave it out of ice cream? And I'm being attacked for being an amputee and showing it in public. Like, I'm not above having a little dark chocolate there.
That's all right.
Definitely not only like vanilla.
That's right.
I'm a wide variety ice cream lover.
Yeah, I do.
Is it attacked because I'm an amputee and I have a prosthetic leg? You're comparing that to Pride Month? I hate to tell you, there is an amputee month, and I didn't celebrate it for one fucking day.
Wait a minute. We celebrated it for the whole month.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got all kind of benefits and freebies. In fact, I forgot to try Scoop's amputee sundae while I was there.
Right. Comes with half a spoon.
Yeah. I don't remember Scoops rushing out to make an amputee sundae for me. No. Where's their cancer sundae? Where's everything else that there's a month for? But you have to, have a special sundae because you're gay. What else? Where's the AIDS sundae? Where's everybody else's month? I didn't see you have an Asian Pacific Islander sundae. I don't understand why it's celebrated like this. And that's all I was saying. I don't care who you have sex with. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care who you love. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that we're constantly grooming children and showing these different lifestyles that they don't need to be shown at an early age. Keep it out of a fucking ice cream store. That's all I was asking. And I asked in a nice way, and then I get attacked for being an amputee. Like that was, because I chose that.
Do you think Scoops will have free chocolate on Sundays on Wednesday for Juneteenth?
I don't think so. I don't think they have their special brown sundae, chocolate sundae for Black History Month either.
Yeah, all of February. That would be a good promotion for them, wouldn't it?
So frustrating. And then after they got all this stuff, all this hate or whatever, they had to take a picture for Flag Day showing the American flag hanging outside their building. Good for them. But I wasn't asking anything to be mean. I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was just trying to ask a simple question. Why does it have to be discussed in an ice cream store and I get attacked for being I'm not a homophobe. I don't care. What don't people, how many times do you have to say I don't care before they realize it? But again, the tolerance on the left stops with their shit.
Sure. Well, but you do care. Just in the opposite. You don't care what people do. You do care when they throw it up in your face.
It's not even a matter of throwing it up in my face. It's a matter of, do you see what they're doing to children? I just watched a video the other day of a summer camp where they have kids that are 5, 6 years old yelling, "It's okay to be gay," and they took a video of it. They're children.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're indoctrinating them. Well, we saw that video, last week? We're coming for them and we're going to get them.
I don't think the colleges should be indoctrinating people that are 18, 19, 20 years old, much less camps indoctrinating kids that are 5 and 6 years old. I just don't think that's right. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
But again, the tolerance stops on the left when it comes to what they want. The Boy Scouts renamed themselves. They're no longer the Boy Scouts because it's not.
Well, it's whoever.
Everybody.
It's whoever's the loudest. And thankfully, and I know, dude, we're at a painful point in history right now. Because believe it or not, as bad as it feels right now and as bad as it seems, it's actually swinging the other way. It's actually going back to normal. I'm seeing a whole lot more of people pushing back on this stuff. Look at the professional football teams, dude. A quarter of the league said no to Pride Month. That's astounding right now to me.
I agree.
That what was it, 10 or 11 of the NFL teams did not and are not acknowledging Pride Month? That's amazing to me. And we don't see any boycotts of it either. Have you noticed that you haven't seen? There's nobody hanging out down at Brown Stadium boycotting.
Right. No.
Because people are sick of it. People are done with the onslaught of being told what I don't even think people give a shit about what the issue is. I think just in general, right-leaning people are done with taking what left-leaning lunatics say about them to heart. I think we're just done. Oh, you think I'm a homophobe? Fine. Add that to the list. You think I'm a racist? Fine, add it to the list. As far as I'm concerned, that just opens me up to actually doing more stuff that you might not like.
Problem is,
not less.
I'm not one of those things. I'm not an ist. I'm not a phobe.
So then why would somebody saying it to you bother you? It doesn't matter. What does it matter that some dummy that you're never going to meet on an ice cream website says, well, you're a homophobe? Who cares?
I'm not saying that it bothers me per se, but it
does bother you.
What bothers me is that's like the makeup of half this country anymore, it seems like. And like, I don't understand it. I don't understand where you can get away. I can't say what I want to say, but you can say whatever the fuck you want to say about me.
Yeah. Well, until you devalue the words completely, then they're going to keep using them. And but you did because you reacted. You reacted to it.
I didn't attack this idiot named Darcy whatever on Facebook.
I didn't say attack. I said reacted.
They attacked me. For what? Because I asked a question because I have a problem with something? Instead of having a discussion with me, you want to attack me? Go fuck yourself.
Dude, we get, on CMS especially, we get racist and homophobe stuff all the time. Because we make a lot of racial jokes and we make a lot of gay jokes. And I say that in all honesty, and I don't care if it's racist or not. But the truth is, whenever anybody calls me something like that, like on a YouTube post or whatever, you know what my answer always is? You're right, I am. Because then what can they say? They can't say anything. The only thing they can do is be like, well, fuck you and unsubscribe. And I don't want them there anyway. If they can't tell when I'm telling a joke, or if they can't tell that that's my attitude, then fuck them. I don't need them. I don't need them in my life. And they're not in my life anyway.
I don't know, man. It's frustrating to me because it seems like when I have an opinion, just because I'm on the right side of things,
yeah,
and the left doesn't want to be tolerant towards me, but they demand tolerance from me, it pisses me off. But then I sit there and I go, dude, I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm sitting there arguing like a 12-year-old on social media with these people.
Yeah, get away from it.
Just even dumber than ever.
Dude, you just can't let people that you don't, I'm sure in your neighborhood there's 3 houses down from you. What's that guy's politics? You don't know. No. That guy might have been the guy that was arguing with you on Facebook. You don't know. So why would you give him because he's on some dumb website, why would you give him any more power than you do now if he lives 25 feet from you?
Today I wore a shirt. It's an unvaxxed villain on it. Right?
Yeah.
Because of the vaccine.
Right.
And the cashier behind the fucking counter was looking at me like I had 12 heads. I see her every day, and she didn't want to sell me my shit. And I had to sit there and go, all right, seriously, bring me up, please. I'm wearing a T-shirt. It's really, really bad anymore.
Yeah, you just got to fight him. Yeah, we do. And he's probably like, what am I walking into with this shit? Jesus.
All right. You gonna play the music?
I will play the music. Of course, you all know the bands. Smile Empty Soul. Been here for, I hate to say how many years. I won't say how many years. I'll just say it's been more than a minute, less than a eternity. But they've been killing it since they came up in 2003. So let's play their biggest hit, I think, and then we'll come back and we will talk with Sean Danielsen of the band Smile Empty Soul. We'll talk about what he's doing, what he did then, what they're doing now with their new song Savior. Play a little of that at the end. So hang out. It is Smile Empty Soul next on the Seth Williams Show.
Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Man, time has changed, huh? Like, looking at that video, I'm looking at a baby in that video, and now look.
I'm still a baby. I just have a little facial fur going on.
I was going to say, I thought we had the wrong guest for a minute.
Yeah, it's been 22 years since we filmed that, so definitely looking a little bit different since then.
Right on. Dude, I got to ask, before we even get into music or anything, how long did it take to grow the beard?
Let's see. I think I started growing it in 2020 when I was pretty much grounded here at home.
Right.
And I've trimmed it back maybe 2 or 3 times since then.
Okay. That's dude. It's amazing. I wish I could do that. Mine gets half long and then it like starts curling up and looking like Raleigh fingers or something. It just looks awful. So,
I think you could do it. I don't think it's any skill really involved. You just let it go long enough and it'll eventually start doing its thing.
I apologize for you walking into the political fire that we were started off with today. So
no worries. I'm with you, man. I'm with you 100%.
It's a different world than it was even 20 years ago when that song came out. I was a rock DJ back then, so I was playing the shit out of that tune on a day-to-day basis here at the station here in Cleveland. And then nice. I got into political talk radio, and so I've kind of gone that spectrum of being fun, wanting to do the drugs, and at the bottom of that bottle, to wondering what the fuck is going to happen next year in this country that we live in.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I'm unvaxxed and proud, and I took a lot of flack in 2021 myself because we refused to play any shows that required the vaccine to enter a venue.
Yeah,
and so I'm right there with you, man.
I almost lost my job because of that thing. I mean, it was one hell of a time.
Better than losing your health, on so many different potential levels.
It was a year later that I lost my leg, so I did lose that too. But that's a different story altogether.
Sounds like it.
Well, dude, let's dig into Smile Empty Soul, man. You're obviously back, man, or not? I guess not back. You guys really never went anywhere, but You have this great new single, Savior, that's out there. I'm assuming that it's leading to more. Tell us where you're at and what's going on with Smile Empty Soul.
Yeah, I mean, we never went anywhere. The last 21 years we've been releasing music and touring nonstop, other than 2020, of course.
Sure.
But we just released the new single, Savior. We have an EP coming out at the end of the year. We're going to be releasing basically one song every 6 weeks or so leading up to that. And we're just pretty much doing our thing like we always do.
Now, how has it changed though, back when that tune came out up till now? Obviously the industry has changed, but rock music has changed a lot, in my opinion. What do you think?
Oh, it's a different reality altogether. There's not even an element of it that's the same, so it's been quite a ride, quite a journey, doing this for this long and rolling with the punches and adjusting to the world that is rock music. I mean, like you said, rock music itself fell off a cliff. I mean, it's never been less popular than it is now.
Why is that?
And I mean, that's, I guess, up for debate, but it's pretty shitty.
That's kind of what I was going to say, is that there's not bands like you out there as much anymore. And a lot of the good bands are overseas, they do well, but it's a lot of pussy rock music around, in my opinion anyways, and not like it was back in the day.
Well, I mean, I think that the corporate takeover of radio and venues, it didn't help, and I mean, if you look at, going back to tying this all back to the 2020, 2021 era, most rock bands in that era were like, pushing the vaccine and wearing masks and government control and, just the complete opposite of what rock music is supposed to be about. The punk rock is gone and you've got corporate pussies just basically sucking the teat. Right. And, I mean, what is that? Who wants that?
Right. Dude, how hard has it been since COVID for you guys? Because, you were very vocal about, I'm not getting vaxxed to go out and play shows. I mean, you guys were very vocal about that. Yeah. And with that at the time, like I'll relate it to a business that I own. I own an arcade, and social media just murdered me because we would not enforce. We said point blank, we're not enforcing masks. We're just not doing it. Right. You want to come in, come in. You don't want to come in, don't come in. That was our stance. And I mean, I can't tell you how many Coronacades and you're going to murder everybody in our town with this. And I mean, I just got crushed on this stuff for months. How a lot of bands, and I know a lot of bands caved. A lot of bands that didn't cave, that held the line, they held the line, but they weren't public about it. Enough of them that didn't get vaxxed also stayed real quiet. You guys didn't. How hard was it to keep getting gigs and find promoters that weren't going to shit on you for taking a stand?
I mean, it wasn't it wasn't difficult to find gigs. We only had to cancel a small handful of shows that year. I think there ended up being a couple venues that we canceled on that, communicated to my booking agent that they weren't interested in having us back because of our stance on that. And I just couldn't care less. I mean, right. Shove it, dude. I got no problem with, people taking that vaccine if they wanted it. But my issue is freedom. It's a bigger issue than just that particular vaccine. And if you are so short-sighted that you can't see that handing government that kind of power is going to lead to extremely evil and terrible things, then you're an idiot. And I try to live my life with a level of integrity, and to me that is more important than any one gig or any one person listening to my music. I'm sure we lost some people listening to us on Spotify, whatever, and we lost a couple of venues, but it is what it is. That freedom needs some people brave enough to stand up for it. And not that my band is big enough to make a dent, but if you stand up and speak truth, it can spread and it can give other people the courage to do the same.
That's what I thought about the entire thing. I thought the whole thing was a test run to see what the government could get away with when they start shutting businesses down, making people stay at home, and telling people how far to stand apart. I mean, that's ridiculous.
They first of all, they only shut down the mom and pop businesses, right? They allowed giant corporations that they're in bed with to continue to carry on. They just shut down us little guys. And I mean, it was in my opinion, they want total control, and they're constantly doing little things to change the board and get little pieces of control here and there and testing us. And I'd say we're failing those tests pretty badly.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, dude, in 20, whatever it was, 21 or 22, early 22, I forget what year it was, when you released Black Pilled, when you release something like that in the middle of the shitstorm of COVID and government infiltration, what kind of reaction did you get to that? Not necessarily only from fans. I know you released it on your own. Did you release it on your own because what semblance of record labels there are didn't want to touch it because they knew it would be a problem for them? Or
well, we've been releasing everything we do on my own label ever since 2017, because record labels, they want to control. They're not going to push. They're not going to push something that isn't a controlled asset. The bigger the artist is, the more that artist does whatever the label wants them to do, in my personal opinion. In this industry, if you don't toe that line, they aren't going to spend money to promote your record, so me being just the type of person I am, I would rather control my art 100% and do it on a smaller level, but but with integrity. And so we've been releasing our own music, 2017 and on anyway. Um, Not that a label would touch us, because I earned the reputation of not towing the record company line a long time ago, and word spreads quickly in this industry. So,
Sure.
um, we've been doing it labelless forever. This new EP that we're releasing at the end of the year, Swan Song, is actually on a label for the first time in many, many years, but it's a small label that my friend runs, and it's kind of a unique situation.
Right on. Definitely. Well, man, as you release new music today, and this kind of dovetails to what you said before, which I don't agree with, by the way, where you said that your band isn't big enough to make much of a dent. I disagree with that. I think if enough little smaller bands were doing it, everybody doesn't have to be Kid Rock. Everybody doesn't have to be that big. But if there is one that's that big, and there's 50 more that are smaller than that, but still are taking kind of that same line, I think you open the door to people not ignoring a band based on their political beliefs. You see what I'm saying? I think it opens the door to, well, these guys, I saw them with Kid Rock. I'm just throwing an example out there. But if they saw you and Kid Rock, and they're of the same mindset, well, now all of a sudden you have more strength in their eyes. And then who you take on tour the next time would have more strength in their eyes as well. So it almost kind of, I don't know, like a pyramid scheme of good intention, I guess, is what could happen. I think that maybe you don't see your own value to the political spectrum for what it truly is for those of us that are out there and are sick of being preached to by every one of our bands that we grew up loving.
No, I agree with you. I mean, if enough bands of my band's size and level would come out with a similar message, then you can definitely move the line. But there weren't almost any bands coming out, and I mean, especially in the rock world, there's like Coulter Wall in the country world. He took that stance. I'm trying to think. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't really think of any other bands that refuse to play venues that require the vaccine. And like you said, I know a lot of bands that behind the scenes wouldn't take the vaccine and didn't want to be a part of any of that, but were too afraid to say anything because of the public backlash.
Right on.
That seems to be a big problem. Even in Hollywood, there's a lot of people that are afraid to tell the truth for whatever reason it is, and I don't get it.
It's a powerful enemy that we're up against. I mean, these people run the media, they run, the politicians, they own them, they run Hollywood, they run all the big record companies. So you're taking on a giant when you take that stance, and there's consequences to that. And I can understand why some people wouldn't want to do that, but this is an important time, and I think everything is at stake right now, and I don't know if people realize to what extent. I think that our world's changing rapidly, and the freedoms that we've taken for granted for a long time are evaporating quickly, and this could get so bad so quickly that I think it's really important, and I wish more people would stand up and talk about it.
That's what I was saying before you came on, is that I truly believe that this is like the downfall of our republic here. And we're on we're at a breaking point, and I don't know what can stop it at this point. I mean, I'm voting for a felon because I have to, because I can't sit with what's going on now. But something's got to change.
I don't see a way to vote. I mean, first of all, do I think that they count our votes? No. Do I think that that the two-party system is designed to just give the illusion of some sort of power? Yes. I think they usually own both candidates, and that's one of their best methods of control. I mean, luckily, the citizenry of the United States of America is the most armed group of people in the world, even above and beyond any army. I think we own like 40 something percent of all the firearms in the world, just, the citizens of America.
Right.
And so, I mean, the way that I see it going is probably at some point the government encroachment on our freedom gets so bad and things get so bad that the 100 million plus gun owners in America decide to actually stand up and do something. And then there's some sort of, gigantic conflict or second revolution or some sort of event like that, which at this point, I mean, I bring it on. It's the direction that we're headed. Things are getting so ugly, and they're just going to keep getting uglier until something is done. Something massive has to change the momentum. And I think the sooner the better,
Right. Do you think guns are the issue? Because I don't think anybody's going to raise up for any other thing that they try to steal from us, even speech, which to me is more important than guns, and I'm a gun owner. But I think guns are the ones. I know myself. I hate to be that guy, my cold dead hand, but I'm that guy. And I think most people that own guns are truly, you got to kill me to take it. There's nobody that's just going to well, if it's for the betterment of, nobody's buying that nonsense.
Because what comes next,
Yeah.
As a gun owner, if you paid attention to history at all, the next step after taking the guns is abuse, tyrannical abuse. So, we have that 100 million plus gun owner citizenry going on, and it's our biggest strength, and it's the only thing keeping us from becoming Australia or Canada or one of these other countries that are just being trounced right now. And yeah, I think that is the line. I think that once they come after those in a harsher form that the gun owners of America won't stand for, that's probably the line.
Now, speaking of control and getting back to the music a little bit, how much do you want to punch the inventor of Spotify and Apple and stuff like that for making it so damn difficult to make money in your industry now?
Yeah, I mean, the evolution of the technology in the music industry is definitely insane, and there are pros and cons, I think, with any new technology, and there are pros to the new way, but I mean, it's difficult. We luckily we as a band have gotten the rights back to a lot of our old albums, so we own a lot of the masters, so that trickle stream of money that comes in with the streaming actually goes to us rather than some record companies. And it does actually stack up. So there is a certain amount of money generated that's reliable and monthly and consistent for us just from our streams and our digital downloads and all that. But I think that the negative elements of where it's all gone are pretty heavy. It's taken a lot of the artistry out. Nobody cares about records anymore. Nobody cares about physical product. Nobody cares about the order of songs that the artist intended or the artwork, or nobody gives a damn about any of that. They just want to hear this one song right now, and maybe even just for 30 seconds before they skip to the next one. And the short attention spans combined with where it's all at is just kind of cheapened music.
Right. Do you think it would change though? And I've had this discussion with everybody from the newest band to guys in Megadeth. So, complete spectrum. I never understand why artists, including a band like yours, puts the full record on everything. Why give YouTube the full record the first day and Spotify the full record the first day? Why not give them, like you're doing an EP? I'm going to guess it's probably 4 or 5 songs. Why not give them 2 songs and 30-second snippets of the other two or three songs, and let them hear two. But then if they want to hear more, go out and buy it for $5 for the disc or a thumb drive or whatever. Why don't bands do that? Is it just the labor that would have to go into doing that, or is there some other reason contractually with Spotify and all the DSPs?
Well, I mean, people are super lazy, and so if most people, I think, if you say, "Hey, here's a snippet of a song, if you want it, go to this site and pay money and order it, and then we'll ship it to you, and you got to wait for it, etc." They'll just say no, and they'll move on to the next band or the next song. And so there is a level of, you do want, at the end of the day, we're making music for people to hear it, and so for me personally, I wouldn't do it that way because of that. But what I am doing is releasing one song at a time from the EP all the way up until we've released everything but one song, and then releasing the whole EP at once.
Okay.
That way you get at least the best promotional bang for your buck from the group of songs that you just recorded, rather than flopping the whole thing out at once.
Right.
And then we do obviously offer, like physical CDs still that, we sign, and physical vinyls that we sign for the real diehard fans or the fans that collect, physical music in one form or another. So, at the end of the day, we do want to reach people, and we do want our music to be accessible. It's just finding what works for your particular band, All
right, people wanted me to ask the question because I generally ask this, but what's the touring situation like these days compared to what it was like 22 years ago when you put out the hit? That hit, anyways. I picture back then broads hanging out the windows, half naked. You got beer and drugs everywhere on the bus, and it's one big ass party. Is it still the same, or did COVID kill that too?
For us, it hasn't been like that for a while. It was like
it was. Okay, good. Right. Thank you.
It was like that. I'm sure that with some bands it still is, but I stopped partying in 2007 because I was gonna die, So, Smile Up Your Soul has kind of become a smooth running machine and a business. So for us, that lifestyle is kind of gone. Like, I mean, I even do all my own driving at this point in my RV that we tour in. So when we end a show in a town, we pack up and we hit the road like immediately. Like we do a bunch of the driving towards the next town to take a chunk out of it. So we're very much business at this point in time, but we had our days, we definitely experienced that too.
See, I want to live vicariously through those old days. That's my goal in life is to go to bed tonight dreaming of those old days.
I'm sure there are bands still doing it up just like that. You got the wrong guest on your show today.
Dude, is this becoming, doing it just the way you're doing it, where it becomes a self-running machine? Is this the way that it's becoming for bands, both bands that have had some success, but also for the new bands that they have to do it that way? Because and I'll just throw one example that I know does it exactly the same way, is Nonpoint. The band Nonpoint, they are very much self-everything. Self-produced, self-recorded, self-traveling, self-tour booking, self-everything, which I think is the same way you kind of operate things. Is that the way that it's going to have to be sustainable as we move forward?
I think that if you're below a certain level and you want to continue to do this, you have to do that. You have to start wearing multiple hats. When we first started, we had a management team and lawyers and a business account management team. And, our crew on the road was you know, a sound guy, a monitor guy, a guitar tech, a drum tech, a merch person, a driver. You know, you start having a crew that's like 3 times the size of the band, and you know, a tour bus that's costing you $1,000 a day, and you know, it's hard to sustain that over long periods of time. You have to be massive to do that. So especially in the rock world, there's only a few bands that have been able to continually do that for decades and decades. And you know, if you're Nonpoint or us or so many other bands, you want to continue to do this, there's still money in it, but you got to start wearing multiple hats. You got to figure out how to push these unnecessary people out and figure out how to do those things on your own. And so, you know, and also, like you said, that the bands starting out these days, labels nowadays, they don't want to touch you unless you're already doing it on your own successfully. So I know a lot of bands that started out doing it like this on their own, were successful at it, then got label interest, but then said, nah, I don't need you. We're already doing it like this on our own. And they roll like that. So I think
Dirty Honey.
I don't know those guys, but I believe it, you know.
Yeah, they're still, I mean, they're as successful as can be, and they do not have a label, and they do everything by themselves.
Yeah.
And good on them for doing it, you know. I mean, that's seemingly the way.
Absolutely. I just got tattooed recently by the bass player from Blacktop Mojo, and they're the same way. And you know, I definitely told them, don't sign a record deal unless they're coming to you with guaranteed X amount of dollars in promotion in this way and that way, and some in your pocket. And because a label is just a bank account, and if they're not going to bring the thunder with the checkbook, then there's why relinquish control to them, you know?
See, I need you guys to keep playing music and keep putting out good shit, because I saw an article today where Taylor Swift is now one of the top 10 guitar players in music today. And I wanted to punch the computer screen because I can't take this anymore. So you guys got to keep playing music and keep putting out good shit.
You got my word, man.
Very good, man. Well, dude, I figure what we'll do is we'll wrap this one up by playing the new song. We'll play a piece of the new song, Savior. Before we play it, where should we tell people to go to keep up with you guys and buy merch? Don't just stream it. I know that's easy, but don't just stream it. Buy some merch, tour dates, all that stuff.
The best places to follow us are the standard Facebook, Instagram. You know, we've got official Smile Empty Soul pages on there, and then I've got Sean Danielsen pages on there. We post everything that we're doing, whether it's, you know, tour dates or new music releases, whatever. And you know, when you stream us, even on Spotify or any of those places, those platforms, like I said before, it actually does benefit us because of how we've managed to regain control of a lot of our masters. So we appreciate support in any fashion, you know. If you want physical merch, we go through a company called Control Industry. If you just Google Control Industry Smile Empty Soul, page pops up with, you know, endless cloth merch items, and that benefits us directly. So any way you engage with us, we appreciate and benefit from. And, you know, we're constantly touring, and we release lots of new music. So.
Very good, man. Well, one more time, the band is Smile Empty Soul. The new single, brother, which we're about to play, is called Savior. And Sean Danielsen, thanks so much for joining us here on Seth Show.
Thanks for having me.
Goals are everything, and only in this wasted town we see claws and crowns. Who am I if not a king? And only if I drown you out will I get higher now.
There's plenty of places to experience the Seth Williams Show, but if you want all the content, you need to join us on Minds. Get all the live episodes of the show every Monday and Wednesday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Get the special bonus footage every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. Get bonus content from Seth and Chris as it's produced. It's only $4.99 per month, so don't wait. Sign up today. Visit us at www.minds.com/Seth Williams Show.
That's the kind of music I like, man. And he was a good dude.
I like him. Yeah, he's definitely good. No doubt about that, dude. And definitely, he's fighting the fight, man.
He is.
You know, I mean, it's got to be tough to be out there, not sucking the dick of the corporate line, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be hard to be out there doing it. But good on him, man. Sean seemed like a really good dude, man. I really liked him. And that song kicks ass. That Savior song. That's great.
Yeah, it's good.
So, all good, man. So there we go. Smile, Empty Soul. Dude, we've had a lot of pretty good guests on this show as far as musical guests.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
You know, that's pretty.
At least what?
For a pretty much a new show, it's pretty amazing that we've had some of the guests that we've had, you know?
Look, and, I'm sorry that I have to ask the question about the back in the day bus stuff, but he at least admitted that there was that back in the day.
Right. So, now,
one of these days I'm going to find a band that's still fucking doing it, and they got hookers and blow everywhere. And, they're hanging out the windows and everybody's naked. It's one of these days I'm going to get a band that does it still. Gotta be one band out there, right? And then they're going to need a one-legged roadie or something that, needs to come on the bus with them.
You think that's what's in your future?
I got to do something else other than argue with people on social media. There's got to be something better for me.
Somehow I'm not thinking that's in your immediate future.
Hookers and blow on a tour bus of a band is in my future? Probably.
No, I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm guessing probably not.
Too funny.
A man can dream, Chris.
Right.
I'm closing in on 50. Maybe I'm having a midlife crisis.
That's right. Oh, man.
I'm trying to get through this week, man. I got a vacation coming up. We leave on Friday. Just trying to get through this week. I know I'm going to get sick or something horrible is going to happen to me.
Are you excited? Excited about going?
Which means I'm going to get sick or something horrible is going to happen to me. I'm going to get hit by a bus. I'm going to get COVID. Something.
You ain't going to get none of that. You're going to go and have a great time. Stop being Johnny Negative here. You're going to have a good time.
Johnny Negative? My entire life is negative.
You're going to have a good time.
And I shouldn't say that. I mean, my entire life is actually pretty positive. I like what I do for a living. I love my wife, of course, my daughter, and everything. Yeah. Actually, fairly positive. I love doing this show with you. But then, the negative stuff always creeps into my head. Because I'm autistic, remember?
Yeah, that's right. Borderline. Right on the border, but borderline.
She might have a little something to say about the rock and roll fantasy thing.
Do you think she'd give you a free pass if it was like the right one?
If it was the right band, I think so. Yeah.
Like if it was, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who would be a good one. If it was, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who your wife would like.
Well, she's a big 80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If it was like somehow you ended up hanging out on the bus with Poison.
She's not a Poison fan.
All right, how about Motley Crue?
I don't know.
Think she'd be okay with you just banging their groupies?
Talking about a woman that made out with Eddie Van Halen like the month before we got together, dude.
Here's the real question. If she gave you a pass, are you giving her a pass?
No. Are you kidding me? That wouldn't be fair.
That's perfectly fair. If she gave you a pass to go out on tour with Warrant for a week, but she gets to bang Bret Michaels once.
Look.
Just one time.
No, that wouldn't be fair. Look.
How is that not fair?
She'd be more than happy just to get rid of me for a week.
Yeah, but you got to give her something. Got to give her a little something.
All right, would I give her a pass? Well, it depends. What do I get?
You get to bang whatever you can score on their bus for 5 days.
And she gets a pass with.
She gets to bang Bret Michaels one time.
One time. Okay, that's fair. That's fine.
One time she bangs Bret Michaels.
I'd go with that.
But you get five potential chances.
Yeah. Potential chances. I mean, look, I'm not exactly.
Well, you got to score them. You can't just.
Well,
you can't just say, "Well, I'm on the bus now."
What if I come home with nothing? Then it's not fair.
Well, but that's the risk you take.
She's getting guaranteed ass, and I'm getting guaranteed.
Look, she's a chick. She's a chick. You could put her in any room, and she's getting guaranteed ass.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. It's not that fair. I need to be guaranteed something.
All right. Well, then let's change the bet. You can go for 1 day, all expenses paid to the Bunny Ranch.
Okay. All
for 1 day.
Right.
But she gets to fuck 3 rock stars.
3? No.
Well, you got all day. That's all paid for. You could bang 10.
We're going. If one rock star is plenty.
Well, I'm saying, but you could hook up 10 different times in that day because it's all paid for.
Who do you think I am, dude? I'm a one-legged diabetic
So what?
fat guy. How many times do you think I could do it in one day?
Takes no effort for a mouth.
And for 10 minutes, I'm going to be heavy breathing and pass out on the bed somewhere.
Takes no effort for the mouth.
Wow.
I mean, just 24 hours. Would you even sleep? If you had all expenses paid for 24 hours at the Bunny Ranch, would you sleep?
Yeah, I need to eat and stuff. And then
No,
I
please.
really need a nap.
Please. I'd have a bag of popcorn in the room.
I'm an old guy, man.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, but I'm lazy. I don't want to put effort in all that.
I'm older than you. I'd be counting the minutes going, I got to get it one more time.
See, I'd be like, is there something like a watch on porn or something like that? I mean, all this effort. I don't want to feel like I have to please anybody. I just want to like lay there and yes, absolutely, I would need that. I mean,
all right, so they give you a gallon of ranch dressing and a pallet of Diet Coke in the room.
In the room,
and the girls will come in every 15 minutes. A new girl will come in for 24 hours. But your wife has to be able to bang 5 rock stars in a week.
all right. Now you're going up to 5, 3.
5 because
3.
It's every 15 minutes. I mean, there's 24 hours. What's 24 times 4? That's like 100 girls.
I don't think that. Well, all right. That maybe 5.
100 girls for 5 dudes.
I don't think that she would do it.
Well, of course
Plus,
you don't
I
think
would
that.
remain faithful to her.
No, you wouldn't. You
I
would
could
hook up with every one of those 100 girls.
never-
Who are you kidding?
I could never cheat on my wife. Are you kidding me?
But it's not cheating. It's a pass.
I guess if we were giving each other passes, then that would be fair.
It's a pass. She's giving you 100. You only got to give her 5.
Yeah, but see, you know me, I'm too paranoid, dude. And I'd be asking her every day, was he that much better than me? How much better was he than me? I'd get paranoid about that. I couldn't live with my life after that.
Well, she'll let you watch the tape after.
Like she talks about high school boyfriends. I wonder if he kissed better than me. I worry about all that shit.
Why would you worry about that?
Because
she signed the legal document with you. No matter who banged her better, she settled for you.
yeah, but I don't like thinking about that kind of stuff. I mean, it's awful to think about.
Why?
You don't what? I mean, you've been married. Did you like think about other guys? Or
I definitely knew other dudes bang my wife better than I did. I definitely knew that.
You?
No, why do I care? She signed a paper with me. I won the war. They may have won the contest.
She tore up that paper with you too.
Yeah, so what? Wasn't because of that. Because me and her just were assholes to each other. It had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I don't like the whole theory of I don't want to know. I don't want to know other guys. I would be dead in 5 minutes. I don't like that. That's always bothered me. Like being in relationships with people.
Brian makes a great point. If Seth was banging hookers, he'd forget about politics and social media.
Probably.
Good point, Brian.
You're absolutely right. That's why Tiger Woods sucks at golf now. When he was banging hookers and everything else, he was great at golf. That would be me. If I was banging hookers and all kind of stuff, I'd be so much better at my life and job.
Dude, not for nothing with Tiger Woods, and I know this is old. This isn't even new. But how do you trade down from that girl that he was married to that waitress that he was banging?
I don't know. Well, because
how does that even happen?
Ass is ass, dude. And guys don't really care, dude. It's just different ass.
I know. I get that part, but man, that Elin Norgren or whatever her name was, she's one of the top 10 ever. Like, she's one of the top 10 beauties of all time.
Seth is fueled by ranch dressing. You. All right, so real quick. We're having somebody come stay at the house to watch the dog, the pets and stuff when we go on vacation.
Uh-huh.
And we have to clean out the fridge. I looked inside my fridge last night, and I swear to you, there are 6 giant, like this size, bottles of ranch that are like almost empty. Then there's like 5 more little bottles of ranch, like average size bottles of ranch that are almost empty. They're all there's like 12 bottles of ranch that are on the top shelf. My entire top shelf of my.
And Seth is gone. What happened? Well, so much for that. All right, well, let's do this. We'll take a quick break, I guess, because Seth has locked up completely. We will take a quick break, and maybe we'll come back, maybe we won't. But hang tight. We'll be back. Seth Williams Show.
Assured Window Cleaning specializes in window cleaning, chandelier cleaning, blind cleaning, gutter cleaning, and post-construction cleaning. In business since 1947, Assured Window Cleaning has proudly been serving its customers in Cleveland for 75 years. As a family-owned and operated business, Assured Window Cleaning has built their reputation on trust and delivering the best results possible. When you need window cleaning services for your home or business, contact Assured Window Cleaning. We're one of the top window cleaning companies in all of Cleveland for both residential and commercial. Visit our website today at www.assuredwindowcleaning.com or call us at 440-989-0122 for a quote. And remember, everybody knows Tony. Contact Assured Window Cleaning today.
I don't know what the hell happened.
You just locked up.
Yeah, power flickered and everything went dark for a quick second and then came back on.
I'm assuming your wife didn't like this conversation and she kicked the router.
Yeah, I don't think that happened. I mean, there's nobody here watching TV. It's just me, so.
Too funny. Oh, well, anyway. So tell me about the vacation. What all are your plans for the week?
We're going to Hollywood Studios at some point. That's where they have the Galaxy's Edge and Star Wars stuff and all that kind of things.
Right.
And I called there today, and they actually have scooters that I can rent for $50 for the day. So I'm going to be big, giant, fat guy on a scooter going through Hollywood Studios Park. And then we're going to hopefully go to SeaWorld one day, and that would be the plans.
Well, that sounds fun.
Get some time by the pool. Can't go into the pool. Although I think they have one of those chairs that they could lower my handicap ass down into the pool, but that would be embarrassing, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that's the plan. Hollywood Studios. I looked at all the parks. I literally was YouTubing every park that's out there, and this one seems to be like the most easy for me to do with one leg as far as rides and attractions and stuff.
Right.
It's a lot of 3D rides and shit that I can go sit in and, so.
Sure. I mean, did you checked with all of them to make sure that there would be a way for you to get around and all that stuff?
Well, like Universal, they wanted me to. I had to fill out like an application to get a handicap card of some sort through a third party thing. I did all that. Now I'm not going to Universal, but I called Hollywood Studios today, and I checked, and they said no. You just come on in. She says all of their lines are apparently ADA or like accessible.
Okay.
And she said that they have the scooters or a wheelchair. I could rent a wheelchair for $20, but then that's a lot of work. I can rent a scooter for $50. I mean, I hate to be that guy because I don't want to be the Walmart guy that's going around in a scooter, honking his horn with a little flag hanging around the back and stuff. But to walk around that park for me would be a pain in the ass. I need the scooter.
Dude, at this point, who cares? You're going to be, what, 1,500 miles away or whatever Florida is from here. 1,000 miles away. You're not going to run into anybody you know where you're going to be embarrassed. Who gives a shit? Ride the scooter.
My ex-wife will probably be there on vacation, see me sitting in a scooter.
So?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't want to embarrass my wife, which I'm going to do. But I have to because I wouldn't make it through the entire day. And if I'm spending that kind of money on going to one of these parks, I mean, it ain't cheap to get to that place. If I'm spending that kind of money, I'm spending some time there. That means I'm going to have to ride around.
Dude, I guarantee you, if she was worried about that, she'd have told you.
Yeah, I know. She says it's okay, but I don't believe her. But I just don't want to embarrass her,
You're not going to embarrass her.
And when I think about it, though, what the hell? I mean, I embarrass her every single day when I'm walking. So what difference does it make if I'm on a scooter?
Yeah, and she tends to go with you everywhere you go.
Yes. So I'm thinking that it'll be all right.
She'll be fine. She's done had her and again, we should have her on sometime. But she's had her moment to why did this happen to me and my family, just like you did. She's past it at this point. Right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So
and if I'm having a good time, then she'll be having a good time. If I'm pissy and bitching every time that I have to sit down because it's taking me forever to walk through the park, then it wouldn't be a good time for either one of us. So I think this is the best bet is for me just to hop on that little scooter and ride around the park.
And if she gets tired, she can ride on the back.
And and my dad was telling me that because he's been there with my daughter a couple of times, and there's hills and shit, dude, which I would be screwed.
Yeah. Even going up the hill in a wheelchair is garbage. That's awful.
Yeah, hopefully the scooter's powerful enough to get up there. Sliding backwards and take out a group of families.
You'll be weaving back and forth so you can kind of sideways it all the way up.
So I'm looking forward to it, though. I mean, it should be. And SeaWorld, I don't think would be that difficult to.
Nah, the hardest part about SeaWorld is the hardest part about life in general, which is going to be getting into a seat somewhere.
Yeah.
But dude, with the handicap stuff, you should be in the wet zone, no?
You would think.
You should get primo seats where you could see the whale eating the trainer or whatever.
And see this, he's right. With one leg, justified. The fat and lazy guys in the scooters, different thing.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about that even when I go to Walmart, getting in one of those scooters and going. Then I'm I'm just not gonna do that.
Nobody's gonna think bad of you because they'll see the one leg. It's a big tub of shit like me that they have a problem with.
No,
rightly so too.
No, I don't think that's the case.
That is the case.
I've seen people in there that don't look like they need the damn scooter.
Mm-hmm.
And are driving them.
Yeah, well, and that's shouldn't be. That's funny.
That's not funny.
That is funny.
All right, so since I hit the deer, I hit a curb the other day. So now I got to go get the underside of my car stapled back up there again.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
The other day I'm driving down to see my mother-in-law with my wife, and this fucking bunny had a death wish and jumped, it literally hopped right in front of my car and hopped into my bumper. I think I decapitated a bunny as I'm driving along the street the other day.
You're just an animal killer.
I feel so bad because I shed a tear when I hit animals. I don't like doing that.
Well, stop killing them, you murderer.
Wet zone at the bunny ranch.
Yeah, there you go.
So that would be the vacation. We've been looking up dining places too. YouTube is my favorite thing now to do when I have a vacation plan because I look up shit that I can actually go see.
Right.
But everything looks so expensive, man. You know how much tickets are to go for one person?
For what, SeaWorld?
Oh,
gotta be 100 each.
What? 175 apiece.
No.
169, I think it was, for Hollywood Studios. I think that was one of the cheaper ones, actually.
And how many things does that allow you to do?
I don't know. I'm assuming most of the stuff in the park, rides and everything. But obviously then They're gonna add tax to that, and then there's 2 of us. So $170 a piece, 3
It's
$40.
$400 just to get in.
It's gonna be $400 to walk in the door.
Yeah.
And then you got to worry about what kind of food you're gonna have, and food's gonna, food ain't gonna be cheap.
Yeah, it'll be $20 for 2 lemonades.
Yeah, and it's gonna be 112 degrees outside and humid, so I'm gonna need something to drink all the time.
Right. Can you bring in water or no?
I don't think so,
You would hope.
but so it's gonna be a pretty penny to go to these parks, but. I haven't been on a vacation in years, so I want to go do something. I haven't been on a vacation since I lost my leg.
I'm sure. I mean, you've budgeted for this, right? You're not just going with like $30 in your bank account.
We've been budgeting as far as
I mean, you got $5,000 or whatever in the bank for this, right?
No, but I sure as hell work 3-4 jobs. I mean, it's not like I need to put something aside for that. $5,000? Are you kidding me? No, we don't have $5,000.
Well, I'm just saying $400 for one. I'm just trying to do the math plus hotels and everything. How much are the hotels?
Well, the hotel, we're only staying at cheap hotels on the way down and back, but the main hotel for like the week that we're there is already taken care of. That's paid for.
Okay.
So I don't have to worry about that.
Because I was just counting that as part of the money.
No, we're staying at the SeaWorld Hilton Grand Resort, so
that don't sound cheap.
It probably isn't, but we're not paying for it, so that's good.
You need to stay at the Motel 11, 3 miles down the road.
Well, that'll be like we're going to stay at those kind of things on the way down there because we're driving and then on the way back.
The kind where you take a shovel, brush the roaches off the bed, and go to sleep.
Right.
Well, it sounds like fun, and you're going to send pictures back, and we're going to post them on Minds? Is that what we decided we were going to do?
Is to send some videos back on Minds, and if anybody wants to see, you got to subscribe.
Yeah, sign up for Minds. Minds.com/Seth. Yeah, Seth Williams Show.
MINDS.
Yep.
Minds. I always feel like people get it confused with like MINES, not MINDS, because they don't pronunciate well enough.
Well, I don't think that's why they're not signing up.
Why is that?
I think it's because they're cheap.
Maybe they don't like our extra content.
Maybe. Well, they're missing out on the extra content. If you ain't getting the extra content, you're really not getting the best of this show. Because I'm a firm believer that each time we've done extra content, it's been great. I am not just saying that. I am saying MC Baba was fantastic.
Fatty Fitness was fantastic.
Fatty Fitness was fantastic.
All right, so here's the easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Sign up for Minds.com at Minds.com/Seth Williams Show right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do it for the year. That's like what, 50 bucks?
$50.
$50. If everybody did that right now who's listening, I'd have like $50 to go on my vacation. So
you could afford a whole lunch.
I could afford a lunch and maybe a beverage.
There you go. See, Scott said it. He did like Fatty Fitness. Fatty Fitness was funny. And so was, I don't care what anybody says, that that was what, 2 weeks ago or whatever?
Yeah.
And I'm still walking around my house going, ah, ah, ah. I'm still doing it. It was so fucking funny.
Well, we plan on having more content this coming Wednesday.
Yes.
I don't know if Tony Masasha will join us. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. Hopefully he will.
From a golf course near you.
Yes. So Wednesday is another day. Hopefully.
That's right. Well, there you go. See, Scott's got it in perspective. Costs $50 for a year, or you can go to Olive Garden for $80 for 2 people.
See?
It's a bonus. It's a bargain with us.
Dude, going out to eat is so expensive anymore. We went for lunch yesterday. It was like $50 for just the 2 of us.
Dude, it is absolutely. I was talking to a couple of friends, different conversations, but both of them do DoorDash.
Yeah.
And both of them have been doing DoorDash as their full-time gig. I think that day is done. I honestly think that day is done. It costs too much, and no one has money to do it anymore.
All right, well, we still make it,
You can make some, but you can't do it full time anymore.
No, I don't think so. Like the other day, I was starving at work on Friday. I had to take my daughter to the airport after work, so I couldn't stop to get something to eat, but I was starving.
Right.
And I called my daughter and I said, I don't know how you do this DoorDash or used to do this DoorDash stuff. All I wanted was like a McChicken and some nuggets or something like that. Just something chicken from McDonald's. That's it. And because I needed something to eat. I didn't eat anything all day.
Right.
And so I was going to DoorDash and I figured that would be the cheapest option. For that,
Yeah. $30.
it was $20, and then that wasn't including a tip.
Yeah. So $30.
Now, we're not talking about a lot of food here, dude.
No, you're talking about what used to cost about $5.
Right. And so I called my daughter and I was like, yeah, how did you do this? And next thing you know, I got a text on my phone and it was you just received a gift of, I think she did Uber Eats from Molly, my daughter. And she bought me lunch and had it sent to my work, which I thought was like the coolest thing ever.
Right. I'm going to address this one quick thing and then we'll get out of here.
Right.
The bonus episodes on the Unlocked post video. Fabric, the reason was because I was out sick last week, so it was scheduled, but it didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. So this week it will happen. It'll happen like gold this week. So.
Yes, we will blame Chris for that.
Yeah, blame me for that. I was sick. How dare I get sick?
God, what are you thinking?
But I'm here now, and I'm going to be Healthy Wednesday, and we're going to do this. And I probably will put together some best of shows for next Monday and Wednesday, but there will definitely be, Seth's going to be sending some content during the week, which will get up on Minds as well. So
sounds good.
Good stuff.
All right, we're going to wrap things up now. Thanks, everybody, for watching today. Do appreciate it. God willing, we'll talk to you on Wednesday. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Sean Danielsen from Smile on Your Soul for joining us.
Yes.
Good shit. Make sure you download some of their music on Spotify, whatever, and Google them to find out where the merch is and stuff like that. So thought it was fun today. Do appreciate it. God willing, we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
See you, folks.
See you later.